of the reading module video. So if you want to check the first part of this video as well as if you want about the basic knowledge of reading module, just click on this link. So let's get started with this video. And in this video I am going to explain you what type of questions they are provided you in your reading module test, right? So types of questions, what are the basic type of questions? First of all, headings. You have to provide the headings to the paragraph in your passage. Passage consists of number of small paragraphs, right? So there is a question regarding you have to provide the headings to those small paragraphs. So they will provide you list of headings at one place, and as well as providing you the information or the questions like paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C. So you have to attempt those paragraphs and you have to read those paragraphs and just go through all the list of headings and just try to understand the concept and which paragraph they were talking about what kind of a things, that how the things are working, or they are just some kind of a history information they are providing, or they are talking about the future or the other information or some kind of statistics regarding the information. So you just have to understand the basic concept that in one paragraph what information they are providing to you. Just read one paragraph first and go through the all list of headings in a one go. If you understand the paragraph A fully, right, then you can go one by one to the list of headings. For example, from 1 to 9 they are giving you list of headings, right? So you read the paragraph A and you understand the whole concept that what paragraph A is trying to say. So go through the 1 to 9 list of headings and just think about that which heading is suitable to that paragraph, right? And just mark your answer in your answer sheet. And there is one situation when number of people are confused that they think that they just have two answers of one paragraph. It means that if they are attempting paragraph A, they think that the heading of 4 and heading of 8 both are going with that paragraph A, right? So to manage your time, don't get confused. Just write those two list of headings which you are thinking the answer on your answer sheet, right? Both of them. So when you going through the next paragraphs, any one from those can be utilized in the other answers. So you have to rub that from that place and you just use that as your answer to your another paragraph. So this is the best way. Never just confuse between the 2 or 3. If you think that there are 3 answers of one paragraph, right, you have to write it down. Don't get confused and don't get stress on your mind that this is also the answer, this is also the answer, what I will do. I am just getting confused at that time. So just think and just write down all the 3. For example, paragraph A is your question, right? And you think that the answer for this is 2, 4 and 6. Just write these answers in your answer sheet. All these 3. It doesn't matter because at that time nobody is going to check your answer sheet until the time foundation, right? Nobody is going to grab your sheet from you. So you have your sheet and you can do anything on that. Just mark the answers as it is which you think that they are the answers, right? So when you are going to attempt your another paragraphs, right, for example B, C, D, from this you think that 4 is the answer of D, right? So just rub that from there and just utilize for the D. So then you have your 2 left over there and 1 is gone away, right? So when you are thinking about the C, paragraph C, then this can be the answer and you can utilize this for C. So basically what you are doing, You are just managing your time and not stuck at the situation, and you are not going to confuse about the whole thing. You just using your time properly as well as your knowledge, and it saves you a lot of time. But if you get confused in these three and you are just making your head over there and just taking the tension over there, that will not work. So do these kind of follow these kind of strategies which will work, and that will also manage your time properly. So I hope you understand this concept. And just if you, for example, if you are not understand about what can be the heading of that paragraph, right? You are not going to able to understand that now I will put what answer on it. Always think, when you are giving the heading or you were doing the passages in your English tasks or English lessons, right? At that time you found that every time if you are going to provide about yourself, if you are going to tell about yourself, right, you write down my name is this, my age is this, I'm doing this. This is basically your introduction, right? So in the first paragraph, the main content or the main passage also providing you the introduction regarding that topic, that what kind of things they are going to say in the another paragraph. So always first paragraph is all about introduction or all about the history, right? So that you have some kind of an idea in your mind that related to these things I am going to read in the further paragraphs, right? So basically introduction type of part is your answer of your paragraph A. History can be your answer of paragraph A, and for this also last paragraph of every passage about the future tense, right? If there is a will shall for the future purposes they are talking about, then basically your list of heading which you are going to choose for that paragraph, that will relate to the future. On this, these are the some kind of a tips which you have to follow if you manage your time and you want a good score, right? So next move to the second, and this is true false not given, or it is also considered as yes no not given, but you have to take care that true false not given is asking for you to attempt, or yes no or not given, because in your answer sheet, if in your question sheet is the question is true false not given, and in your answer sheet at the place of true you are going to mark yes, that will be wrong, because they are not asking for yes no not given, they are just asking for true false not given. So if you think the situation is correct or the statement is correct, then you have to mark true if they are asking for true. Number of people doing this mistake, they are not follow the instructions, they are not read the instructions carefully. If they are asking you about true false not given, just write down true false or not given, or if they are asking for yes no not given, just write down yes no and not given, and there is no main difference in it, right? True when the statement will be true when the statement is 100% same to the question statement as well as in the passage statement. If you find it out that that is 100% correct and match properly, then that will be a true. False when the statement is 50% matching to or 50% not matching to the, or there is a one such kind of a contradictory opinion, right? So at that time there will be false. And not given in the case when there is a no information provided to you in the passage about the question. So at that time you have to write down not given, and you have to write it full in the full form, not given. Next, there is a fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks are very simple. If you just find one answer in your fill in the blanks, then you can easily find out your 3 to 4 answers. Okay, so just read carefully and just mark the keywords and go on the location which is provided by keyword to you and just try to fill the blanks. Just check the instructions that no more than 2 words, 3 words, 1 word only, and just mark your answers. And next to it there are multiple choice questions, or we can say that MCQs. These are very tough because people don't understand that what they are going to do in these kind of questions. Multiple choice questions are basically they are given to one statement and 4 alternative of that statement, and you have to write down one answer from it. For example, A, B, C, D, and you have to mark any one. One statement is fully wrong and one statement is 50% and 2 statements are somewhere collaborate with each other. So you are always going to confuse between 2 statements, otherwise 2 are just crossed down. So just follow the main pattern that you have to thoroughly read both of those statements and just match these statements with your passage statements. So you can easily get the idea that which one is right and which one is wrong, and just attempt these by doing crossing. For example, A, B, C, D are given to you and you have no idea that they were talking about it, so this is crossed. C is also crossed because you understand that that is 50-50 or there is a contradictory opinion in it. You are confused between A and B, but when you read your passage thoroughly or the statements given in the passage thoroughly, you can find it out that which will is going to cross and which will is going to be your answer. So just do or follow this kind of trick if you want to get your answer in your MCQs, right? Next is simple answer questions. This is very simple. Basically, for example, if I am going to ask you what is your name, you are going to tell your name. When the things were done, you are going to provide the specific time in your answer, when, right? So these are that kind of questions, and you just have to answer these very quick because you have the whole idea about your passage and you just write down the main answers and just follow the instructions that no more than 2 words, 3 words or 1 word only, right? This is very easy and there is no need to explain it too much. Next, match these statements with correct ending or name of scientist or place. They are giving you statements, the number of statements, for example from 1 to 6, from 1 to 4, 1 to 8 also, and they are also providing you endings of those statements, and you have to match those with your question statements, right? So that you can complete the sentences, for example. That is the meaning of correct ending, and you are just fully just complete the statements by using the correct ending on that. And they also provide you name of scientists, right? Name of scientists, they are providing you statements, and in the end they are providing you 4 to 5 name of scientists, and you just have to match those statements that which scientists provide what kind of a statement, right? This is very simple. Just mark the names of scientists in your passage and you just easily get the idea which scientists talk about which things, and you just match the statements very carefully with that. And there can be also at the place of scientists they can use different name of places. So that is also the main thing, that how you can attempt this name of the scientist, because you are going to mark your name of scientist in your passages. So you can also mark your place names in the passages to attempt these kind of questions. So just use the keyword of places and just go on that location and find it out what kind of a statement is matched to that proper place. So this is the main all about the match the statement with the correct ending or name of scientist or the places, right? This is the very simple thing to attempt. So that is the all type of questions which they are going to ask you in your reading module. So from my side, I am just completely elaborate all the type of questions to you. So if you like the video, just like and comment and give the thumbs up. Thank you so much.